Hello, science and magic. Welcome in. My name is Amanda Helen, and I love talking about all things feminine embodiment and nervous system care and how to work in a more delicious way. So, this video is going to be talking about how to cultivate more feminine energy, especially for women who have been conditioned to be in their masculine. I was inspired to do this video because I recently did a poll on my community channel. Well, I did two polls. And the first one, I was just curious how my subscribers and followers in YouTube community identifies as far as their masculine or feminine essence. And literally 98% of you said that you identify as female with a primarily feminine essence. 2% said female with a primarily masculine essence. So this could be even if you aren't expressing feminine essence, at your core, you really identify as having a feminine essence. And that got me thinking. I was like, well, how many of these females with feminine essence actually feel connected to that feminine essence? So I asked that question, and 32% said, I know I'm feminine at my core, but I feel that this essence is hidden. 32%. And 16% said, I am groomed, meaning hair, nails, makeup, like put together, all those things, but struggle to be feminine, to be soft, to be open. And then 8%, I share feminine energy in relationships, but am more masculine at work. That's pretty common to have to be masculine at work. We're going to talk about that today. So that means what? 32 plus 16, that's 48%, almost 50% of you don't feel connected to your feminine essence, to your feminine core. So I see a need here. Like, how do you, if you're so used to operating from your masculine, unleash and unlock that juicy feminine energy, whether you're groomed or not groomed? How do you be in that feminine state? So just a brief overview if you're clicking on this video, because I did say where to start with feminine energy. The feminine energy and masculine energy exist in every single body, male, female, and they dance. So some of us express masculine, more masculine qualities, some more feminine qualities, some oscillate between the two pretty evenly. But at our core, most of us have either masculine or feminine essence. Masculine principles are that of persevering, it's that of direction, of linear direction, of setting goals, of reaching those goals. It's that of, strength and a structure. And um, it can often be that burden as well of like really shouldering a lot of responsibility and having to move through life with that responsibility. It holds the container for the feminine to be expressed. So feminine energy is that of flow, it's that of yielding, it's that of receptivity, it's that of being soft. I mean, feminine energy is very strong. Like to use the analogy of water. Water is very soft and fluid, yet it can be powerful. It can be a calm lake or it can be a roaring tsunami. That's the power of the feminine, whereas the masculine holds the container for that water to flow. That's the best way you could think of it. You could also think at a very biological example of a sperm and an egg. The sperm has direction. It's flowing towards the egg. It's swimming. It has that movement towards something. Whereas the feminine is resting back and magnetic and open and waiting and just allowing whatever happens, the egg is. So these are the energies that exist in the body, in our movements, in our thoughts, in the way we approach life, in the way we approach each other. So masculine energy isn't bad. I want to say that. It's amazing. We need masculine energy both within our own bodies and in the world at large. I think it's overvalued in society. It's what we've all been conditioned to revere and to uplift. And if, especially if we're in female bodies with a primarily feminine essence, many of us have been conditioned into this way of moving through life, of setting these goals, reaching these landmarks, pushing through all challenges to hit these goals, feeling amazing when we do, but then living for that next thing. And sacrificing a lot of juiciness in the process, the magnetism and the beauty and the being and the radiance in order to reach the goals. Forgetting our cyclical nature. Women are very cyclical beings. That has a lot to do with our hormone cycle, 28 days. We have very spread out seasons of, the summer, the fall, the winter, and the spring in our very bodies. So we're less linear, we're more cyclical. And often when I can start talking about these things, if you have a feminine essence, that means that it produces a longing in you, especially if it hasn't been tended to, or you haven't evoked this within yourself. You probably long to be seen as radiant. You long to feel juicy. You long to flow, but you've been disconnected from that part of you. Feel free to say hi if you're tuning in live. I love hearing from you all. So, why have women been conditioned to be more masculine? And it's interesting, I used a certain thumbnail, and if you haven't seen it yet, you might check it out after this video. But in one of the images, I'm very straight, linear. My chin is up. It's in a black and white photo, and I look really strong and I look really like kind of like symmetrical. And like I'm overpowering, if that makes sense. It's like a badass boss babe picture. And I love it. I have a blazer on, and that's definitely a part of me. And that's a part of how I've operated in my business, in my work, in my relationships. For a while, that's how I was operating until I stumbled across this feminine energy, until I learned about the nervous system. And the other photo is me lounging back and smelling a flower. And you can see in my body language, I am draped over a couch and have a slight smile on my face. I'm not looking at anything. I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying my senses. And it is in a bright color. There's so many beautiful colors all around. So I thought it was really interesting to see these images of me side by side. And for those of you who are visual, you might take those images in and see them to have an example of the portrayal of masculine and feminine energy. So women have been conditioned into masculine energy for a wide array of reasons. Um, Often it's because, especially in the Western world, both parents are expressing more masculine energy, and there's not a ton of polarity. When there's masculine and feminine energy within a relationship, as in one of the people in the relationship is expressing masculine energy mostly, that direction being that water container, and one of the people in the relationship is expressing feminine energy, being the water in the container, being the hydration, the juice, the flow. Then there's attraction, there's romance, there's that juiciness. If both are expressing that masculine energy within relationship to each other, there's often a repelling, there's often tension. If both are expressing feminine energy, it just falls apart pretty quick. Masculine energy, there's like a butting of heads. So if both parents are expressing masculine energy at work, this is common. Again, women often have to express masculine energy at work, but they can't shed it when they come home and be in their feminine with their masculine partner. Then there's that tension, and often there is a lowering of charge in marriages over time, I think, because this juiciness is not preserved and because women burn out, to be honest. So if both parents are valuing and expressing masculine energy mostly, then if you're someone who has a feminine essence core, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it really simple and say, when I refer to men, assume they have a masculine essence, and women, a feminine essence. And I know from this poll that most of my followers are women with feminine essence. But again, these energies dance in all different bodies. So let's say that the mother is showcasing mostly masculine energy at work and at home. And she has a daughter, and their daughter is looking up to her as a role model. And that daughter will see, like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to really, really strive uh, to work as hard as I can to get what I want. no resting, no magnetism, no juiciness, no enjoying the process, self-sacrifice. And when the parents both uplift and approve of the daughter as she's doing this, then she becomes conditioned to say, okay, I'm getting approval by trying really hard, by reaching my goals, by all these things. And of course, like if you're a girl, you should have goals and reach those goals. But if that energy is overvalued, then the feminine energy gets lost. And over time, you get conditioned to seek approval through these energies of perseverance. This can also come if you have a single parent. So I grew up with a single mother, and my mother didn't have the luxury of expressing much feminine energy. She had to hold the container and hold the structure and provide and protect for my sister and I growing up. So I saw a very strong, independent, had a lot of willpower mother, and she did what she had to do to care for us. But I never really saw it modeled, that energy of my mother being able to rest. To this day, she still can't really rest because she's conditioned herself out of that. She has to be moving, she has to be activating, she has to be persevering. Hi, Regina. I just bought your course yesterday. I started watching today. I hope I will embody my feminine energy like you. I'm so glad to hear that. Did you buy Nervous System of a Goddess, Level 1 Soften? I bet. Yes. Okay. This is a great time to talk about that, actually. So I do have a course that is for sale. It's called Soften. It's part of a program called Nervous System of a Goddess. And what this course is designed to do is to help you to embody feminine energy by understanding the nervous system and actually putting these things into practice, getting out of the head and into the body. So I have yoga practices, I have meditations, I have nervous system education and learning, of course, but the first level is soften, and it's all about just releasing your guard, taking a breath, having a softer body. I'm going to put it in the chat so you all can see it. Um, Yeah, and hopefully you like it, Regina. I'm so excited to have you. Actually, I know you're going to love it. You just have to do it. That's the thing, is a lot of times we purchase these courses, and there can be such, you know, you can move a lot of energy by purchasing a course for sure. But then instead of just binging the content and taking it in with your head, you go through it with your body, do the practices, schedule them into your calendar, and take the time for yourself and move through the embodiment. You're going to love it. It feels so good. So another reason why women have been conditioned is societal messages, especially in the Western world, really, really value masculine energy. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Think, like, get the life that you want to get. Go out there. If you work hard, you can get whatever you want. Like, working hard is so revered. It's bragged about. It's like, if someone's a hard worker, that's often a compliment. Like, you're such a hard worker. It's not a bad thing. But it's not like, are you a hard worker to the detriment of your health? Are you a hard worker to the detriment that you don't believe the universe can flow something to you? Are you a hard worker so much so that you're penetrating other people's energy and you can't lean back and wait for an invitation? So hard worker is really tied hand in hand with compliments in our society. And this, I think, really wires us, especially as women, to value that within ourselves to the detriment of some of these other principles. Our work culture might demand masculine energy. That's common. And that might just be what it is. And there's a way to work in a more feminine way and to bring that more to work. But it can be fun to work in the masculine. But many women don't know how to switch out of that. And so then they bring that home with them. They bring that into their personal lives. They bring that into their relationship. They bring that into the weekends. And then they never really access the core of their feminine. And then school itself is just very, very head-based. I mean, from the time in elementary school, you just sit, you don't engage your body hardly at all, and you learn with your head. It's very mental. It's like, take these facts in, take this logic in, write this logic out. There's not a lot of room for creativity through involving the body. I stumbled across this beautiful way of learning in college, actually, because I majored in neuroscience and I minored in dance. So often I would take what I was learning in my neuroscience classes, like sensation and perception, or, different areas of the brain, and I would bring it into movement in the dance studio that very day. And it helped me to integrate what I was learning. Years later, I went to bodywork school and I learned how to work with the nervous system with my hands. So I found like the feminine way of learning is through the body. And we're going to talk about that because feminine energy lives in the body. But if we have a school system that reveres the brain, and the nervous system lives throughout the whole body, and leaves the body behind and doesn't let the body be utilized and moved and a part of the learning, it's going to create a more head-centered society, one that really values the facts and the logic and the regurgitating of the information and less about creativity. Like art always feels like it's the second thing, but art actually activates parts of the brain that are really important for generating new ideas. I bought the first one. I don't know the difference. Yeah, you're great. If you bought level one, soften, that's perfect. Move through that one. And then there's level two is glow. You'll see that at the end of the course. And that one's all about becoming magnetic and radiant. Okay, so all of these things, how women have been conditioned into being more masculine, result in approaching life mostly from the head and being more strategic, more logical, um, more, making the lists and checking things off the lists. It's a very like dry way of attending life. It's effective. It's effective. It's just very linear, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to do this, A, B, C, and D. There's not a lot of room for play or for mystery or for magic or any of these things. And there's more of a work and less fun. So you work really, really hard. And I used to be like this. All I wanted to do was work. And I would get the rewards from working hard, the compliments, all of these things. But I wasn't having a lot of fun. And I wasn't having a lot of fun while I worked because I was working to get the paycheck or to get the status of the success, things like that. So you work really hard. And then it's like all of a sudden you sit back and you're like, whoa, I'm this age, or whoa, I'm not feeling healthy, or whoa, because you haven't been in your body the whole time. You haven't been having fun. You haven't been enjoying life. So you're working really hard. You're not really having fun. And then what happens? Your adrenals burn out. So this is when your radiance and your vitality start to go down. And in our 20s, we have a lot more resilience in us. We can handle a lot more without it affecting our radiance and our vitality. But as we get older, as women, like we need to actively be filling our cup and restoring and recharging our energy stores. So if you continue to work like that, you age more quickly and you can be radiant as you age 100%. This is not about needing to look 20 for the rest of your life, but this is about having this internal glow, this vitality through the eyes. It's about keeping your organs healthy, your glands healthy, your endocrine system healthy. So if you're only working to receive the accolades, our bodies as women are not designed to work that hard. They just aren't. You start to have this rigid, tight body structure. So because you're bracing throughout life, your shoulders get tight, your jaw gets really tight, your stomach is clenched, and you just start to like close up. And you start to express more muscle tone, less softness. Um, and feminine energy has this softness and this openness. Not that you can't have muscle tone or, be tight, but when that's all that's expressed, that's very masculine. That's why I like to practice this combination of I do lift weights. I really have been enjoying lifting weights lately, but then I also like to practice yoga flow or yin yoga to soften into my joints, to stretch, to keep flexibility. And I like to practice dance as well. I love dancing, so that keeps me fluid. while I have muscle tone. It's actually really important for women to lift as they get older to maintain strength. And then often you have a difficulty with intimacy because you're so tight and your nervous system is in this high state of activation. It can start to be really difficult to connect with others, and specifically in a romantic way. You can start to be on lockdown because you aren't practicing that openness. You are in a state of protection because that's how you condition your nervous system to be. And then when it comes time to be juicy and vulnerable with someone, it feels really threatening. And this gets more and more and more pronounced the older you get if you're continuing to practice masculine expression. You start to feel eventually like something is off, but you can't figure out what. You're like, okay, I've checked all the things off the list, right? I got the job I want. I got the position at the company that I want. I got the home that I want. I got the family that I want. I'm in the marriage that I want. But you look in the mirror and you say, this doesn't feel like me. What happened? You start to feel dull, not connected to your body, not connected to your flow, not very happy. And you stop recognizing yourself. And I think this is so often what happens to women who are expressing masculine energy constantly and they have a feminine core to them, is that there's this like gap. Who they're expressing and then who they actually are becomes kind of buried deep inside. And so I want to give a few different things that you can do to shift that. And some of them are going to be a little easier than others. I mean, this is a lifelong process, right? Especially because we live in a society that really reveres masculine energy. So for me, this is a lifelong practice to elevate feminine energy within my own body, within my life, within my marriage, and to help all of you do that as well. I love talking about it. It feels really important to me because feminine energy is that of nature, right? Masculine energy, that of space and sky and cosmos and expansion. But I'm such a softie for nature, and I feel it deep in my bones to elevate feminine energy in this world because it's been so out of balance. Hi, Miss Ashley. Thanks for saying hello. Kabibi, yes, not connected and deeply fatigued. Yes, not connected and deeply fatigued because of all those years emitting energy from energy stores that you don't have. Okay. Oh, I want to say too, before I get into some of these tips, I'm so excited. My YouTube channel is officially monetized. So that means by just watching and engaging and commenting and liking and sharing my content, that you are supporting me financially. And that feels so incredible. I've had my YouTube channel for about 2.5 years now. So it's a big deal for this to finally be the case. With that being said, I now have the option to be a member. So there should be a join button on my page. And if you hit join, you can be a part of my membership. It's called Relaxed and Radiant. And level 1 is you get a member badge, you get a member shout out. It's $5. So this would just be a really awesome way for you to support my work and to, provide something every month if that's what feels good to you. If you're watching my content a lot, it's $5. And like that will add up if so many of you sign up. The second tier is $25. And what you get for that is a members only access to at least one feminine embodiment class a month. So this could be a yoga practice, this could be a live meditation, this could be qigong practice, but something to help you be more relaxed and more radiant. It will be hosted live and then available for replay only for those members. So check that out. Hit the join button, one of them. I'm so excited. Again, it's called Relaxed and Radiant. And this can be your commitment to being relaxed and radiant. And then you can enjoy some practices for me. I will be doing one more live practice publicly coming up, a stretching and breathing class. And then from then on, I'll do most of them for my members only. So, step one, get out of the head and into the body. And you might be like, what does that mean? Especially if you're someone who operates a lot from the head. So, think of this as, don't think of this, I guess, as stop thinking and start sensing. So right now, just become aware of your whole body. Feel your hips on the seat, feel your limbs, feel your belly, feel that your body's there. A lot of times I think we walk around and we're like floating heads. So when someone says something to you, rather than process it through the brain, see if you can just sense them. And if it's too general to connect to the whole body, connect into the heart. So that means literally feel your heart right now. You can place your hand on your heart, breathe into your heart. We have a map in our brain actually that corresponds to the entire body. So like the feet are here, and I mean, this isn't where they are, right? But let's say like the feet are here in the brain, and the hips are here, and the lips are here. And so they light up when we feel these different parts of the body. So it is connected. So the heart, you want to feel into the heart, and it has its own nervous system. It has its own processing center. It has its own way of taking in information and telling us information. And feminine energy lives here. And this is the gift that we can offer the masculine, is being in our bodies and being in our hearts and responding from that place, sensing from that place, feeling from that place, experiencing our emotions from the body, experiencing another person from our body. And that's why I like to use the word sense versus think. Thinking is processing to do something, sensing is just being with. So when you come home after a long day of work and you're near your husband, drop your energy in your body. See what that feels like. Now you might notice tightness as you start to do this more and more. And that tightness can be uncomfortable, especially if you haven't been in your body for most of your life. So you might start to notice pains or tightness, and we'll talk about how to address that. But feminine energy, in essence, feminine embodiment is connection into the body. Things that you could do to help with this, you could do a yoga practice. Now, make sure you're doing a yoga practice from your body, connecting into your body, because you can totally do a yoga practice and be in your head the whole time and try to do it the right way and be thinking about your to-do list as you're just going through the motions. No, have your attention in your body, have your awareness in your body. Qigong practices are amazing. Heart-centered meditations and heart-centered practices. I do have a heart-centered meditation, I believe, on my channel. I can link that below. But anything to connect you into your heart is going to be a really good way to balance out that overhead connection. And then partner dancing. Oh my gosh. If you want to do a lead follow style of partner dancing, I don't care if it's swing, if it's salsa, if it's souk, if you learn to follow, like how well you follow will really show you how able you are to access your feminine energy. I find that women who try to follow, they're really used to masculine energy. They start to really fight the lead who's trying to lead them through. And there starts to be tension and it's really choppy. So if something's going to teach you to be in a feminine energy of receptivity, of following direction, of flow, oh my gosh, it's learning to follow. So sign up for that swing dance, tango, salsa, and just sign up for an introductory, like 4 classes, and see what it does for you. It's really, really interesting because you cannot be in your head when you're following. You just can't. You cannot be thinking. You have to sense the person who's cueing you what to do and then follow from the heart. So if work requires a lot of masculine energy, if your job does, do something to get in your body before you go home. I remember when I had my full-time job, I used to always go to a yoga practice after work. And this was a long time ago before I was single. I wasn't coming home to a family or husband or anything, but I just needed to refresh. And so I'd go to a yoga class and I would feel like a completely new person. So if you can't go to a full yoga class between work and home, then download a 10-minute, 5-minute heart meditation and do that before you leave the office or before you leave wherever you are working from home and go out to the living room. Like just do something to refresh and reset and feel into your body. And that will help you so much to express more of your feminine core towards your family and your relationships and your marriage. Kabibi. Oh, partner dancing would be good for me because I have no idea how to actually follow. It is so good. I can't recommend it enough. It's like feminine energy in its purest form. I feel so feminine when I not just dance, but when I'm following a lead when I'm dancing. I learned so much from it. I embody feminine energy so much. I actually think between following in my dance and yin yoga, between those two things, I've really learned so much about feminine energy. It's helped my physical structure, it's helped my voice, it's helped my energy. Those would be the two biggest for sure. The second thing that I would recommend, slow way down. Slow down. And I need this reminder for myself too, because I can start to move really fast. So notice how quickly you are moving, you're walking, you're eating, and feel your back space, because often we get so stuck in that front zone that we're just moving forward, which is very masculine. But feel in your back space, lean back, breathe, and just walk with composure and grace. Move with composure and grace. Move like the flow of water. Why would a queen have to rush towards anything? Everything comes to her. So there's no need to rush. Breathe deeply into your belly. You can feel your hand on your belly. When you're having a conversation, talk in a slower way. Wait for a pause to respond. Just slow down your movements. When you're rushing, it's clear that you aren't in the present moment. And feminine energy is all about enjoying the present moment. So when you're thinking about the next thing or your energy is at the next thing, you're not in your body. If you have some sort of job where you have to be really quick, find a way to transition when you get home to shift into that feminine core. Hi, I almost missed the live. I wanted to say how grateful I am for your content. It's been changing my life. Thank you so much for saying hi, and you are welcome. I am so happy it's resonating with you. I've been having a lot of fun coming on live lately. I really have, and I'm going to keep doing it. So definitely hit the bell if you're watching this live, if you're watching the replay, and then you'll be notified. I very rarely put pre-recorded content on because I enjoy being live so much and interacting with all of you. So feel free to ask questions. Again, thank you for saying hi. Okay, so we have put your energy from your head to your body, slow, way, way, way down. The third one, don't overshare. So talk less. Talk less. Unless invited in. So unless invited to share, you can really just be quiet. This isn't about like silencing women's voices or something, but it's about creating and evoking feminine mystery. It's got that leaned back energy. So if you're just quiet and you have that pause and you're talking slowly, even notice how I started talking slowly when I brought up these points. Interesting, huh? I told you this is something that I'm really trying to work on because I spent a lot of my life rushing, and a lot of that has to do with an overactive nervous system. So you want that feminine mystery. If you share everything about your day, about your what's going on in your body, about your thoughts, there's no mystery left. Can you really see the depths of the ocean? No, it's dark. So you want to have some of that quality. Um, be comfortable in silence. This is one thing that I've been trying to do, like when I'm riding in the car with my husband, rather than just talk to fill the space, I just let us be in silence together, and it's so nice. So notice if you're talking just to talk, or if you can let it be quiet and then wait for the person that you're with to lead if they're more masculine. If they want to talk, they'll talk. If they have a question, they'll have a question. Notice what that's like for you if that's hard. I grew up with a really chatty mother, and I used to eavesdrop on her conversations because I couldn't sleep. So I learned how to ask a lot of questions because she would ask a lot of questions, she would talk. But if you can just be quiet, there's this beautiful mystery. And this can be extremely important for women who work in their masculine and they have to lead a lot in their work. So often, if you have clients or you're in corporate, you're doing sales, you have to lead a lot. What's it like to drop the lead and become the follow outside of your work? I walk so fast when I'm wearing heels. Interesting observation. So, what's it like to walk slower when you wear heels? And think of this like if you walk slower, your hips can move in a more delicious, fluid way. You can really milk it. Um, so that's a good observation for you. Just notice what it's like to walk slower. What comes up? What about being afraid of being seen? Are you afraid of being seen? Is that the question? Let me know. Okay, the fourth, soften your nervous system and your body. Soften. This is what my course is called, soften. So we have that a lot of times. If we're overly conditioned to be masculine, we start to develop like really big muscle tone or tightness, gripping, gritting. And if you're tight, you're not going to be able to let things in. Feminine energy receives. So if you have a tight aura, tight energy, tight body, like oh, any sort of blessings that come in, they won't be able to penetrate into your pores, right? Into your energy because you're so tight and guarded. So soften, soften, soften. And this, I've talked about this in my videos before. This would be stretching to actually soften the physical body. I have a course that helps you soften your nervous system. I have a video called The Feminine Melt. You can soften by feeling safe in the nervous system. This is doing work with trauma that's stored in your body. This is doing work with an overactive nervous system if you're in survival. Soften your body, soften your energy, soften your presence. There's still immense power in that, and you have to feel safe to soften. Regina, yes, I'm afraid of being seen. It's hard to soften in public. Yeah, I can understand this, right? It can be dangerous as a woman to be seen in our beauty. And there is kind of like a code or a past experience, like ancestral experience that I feel like we all share where it can be really dangerous to be seen, or there could be personal experience around that. So I say be in your heart and know that it's a choice, right? So if you want to be seen, be in your heart, stand tall, stand in those heels, and let yourself be seen in your beauty. If it feels safe for you. If it doesn't feel safe, get some support, some nervous system care, you could do therapy, somatic experiencing, EMDR, to start to feel safer being seen. That's the question I would have is what scares me about being seen? What's the threat? Where's the danger? And start there and then work with that. Work with your nervous system and your body as to where the fear comes from being seen and take that, get support as you need, practice safety in the body, practice safety slowly as you go out in public. Do what you need. You don't want to push it, right? It's like if your body's not feeling safe, you don't want to go and just feel exposed in public or something. That can be really shocking to the system. But if you do want to be seen at your core and feel scared, work with that fear, work with the nervous system, get that support. This is so helpful. My adaptive behaviors are oversharing and overgiving. Oh, yeah. Are we going to talk about that? Yeah, that's the one upcoming point, overgiving. Learning just to be quiet is brilliant. Yes. It's just like, shut up, you know? But also, my resistance to that was like, don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell me to be quiet. That's suppressing my feminine voice. Not necessarily. Think of it as feminine mystery. Think of it as like you're speaking through your being. You don't have to say everything. You're keeping things sacred to yourself. It's not about like not using your voice. It's about using your voice sparingly when it comes from this deep well, not just talking to talk. Because I think talking can be really penetrating. It can have that masculine forwardness to it. I grew up with a provider, protector dad. I think my trauma was seeing him get epilepsy and seeing my mom worry too much. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, so reflecting on our childhood can be really revealing to see why we are the way that we are. And then that is information for us to move forward and to start being who we want to be and deciding, saying, okay, I have this set of neural pathways based off of how I was raised, based off of my upbringing. And now I get to decide how I want my brain to be wired. And I can do the inner work and I can get the support needed to be that thing, that person, that beautiful woman. Okay. So the next one is allowing support and help from the masculine. So I see a lot of women who are really in their masculine energy that they have a hard time. A really basic example would be like if someone opens the door, that they kind of scurry through that door. They feel really awkward. Or someone wants to pay for them like on an outing or a date and they're like, no, 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 I got it, or let me just get mine. Or someone wants to carry something for them and they're like, no, thank you, I got it. Or someone gives them a gift and they feel really weird receiving the gift. My love, let yourself receive. This is so feminine. And it is such a way to show someone that you love them by receiving from them. My client actually came up with that. To love is to receive. We always think to love is to give. And I'm actually thinking about doing a whole video on this, like shifting your perspective to love is to receive. And some of this comes with softening your body when you receive, feeling your body when you receive, and letting that happen. Now, notice what comes up for you. If you are someone who feels awkward, if you feel uncomfortable, why? If you feel vulnerable, why? But rather than focusing on just giving, 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 that's masculine, you focus on letting yourself receive support. So feminine to do this. And it's very, very difficult for women who are overly masculine. The next one, let yourself follow direction. Oof, this one can be triggering, right? Especially if you're someone who's independent and likes to give direction, leader. But what's it like to follow direction? So I let myself do this in my marriage a lot. If my husband gives me a direction to go do something, I go do it. It's actually a relief. It's like I don't have to think about this or this or this. Like I do so much processing in my business or as a mom now, like I'm holding a lot of masculine structure for my baby that when my husband gives me a direction to call this person or you know, he doesn't give me he does a lot around the house, but if he wants help with something or suggests something, I'm like, okay, I'll go do it. Like, I'm happy to. I'm happy to support this family. Thank you for providing your direction. Thank you for, and it's just, for me, it feels like a relief, to be honest. I spent a lot of my life providing the direction for others. And to be that follow in the dance pattern feels amazing. And that's how him and I met actually, was dancing. So he's the lead when we dance and I'm the follow. And that continues on in our marriage and in our household. And it feels like an honor for me. I'm choosing to do it. And it feels like an honor and a relief. So let yourself follow direction and notice if that kind of pokes at your ego a little bit, or if it makes you feel a certain way, or if you get agitated. And just notice what that feels like. Because if you think about it, the river follows the direction of the riverbed. The water itself is just the water. The feminine, the water, flows in the direction of the riverbed. If you want to express feminine energy, you flow, you follow direction, you yield. Not to say, like, in a relationship that you don't have a say, or you can't offer prompts or suggestions and things, but that's when you're in your masculine. And so you can flow between these energies, but just do a little bit of that, like following suggestions. A full video on allowing ourselves to receive would be beautiful, Amanda. Yeah. Receiving is love too. Like, that's just such a rewiring for me. When my client said that, to receive is to love. I'm like, wow, I've been conditioned my whole life to think when you love someone, you give. When you love someone, you receive as well. It's a dance. We need both. MCZ, what can help? What can help with, oh, your trauma? Okay. So your mom was worried about your dad. Now, I am not a licensed therapist. So sometimes with this stuff, I always say, like, to my clients, that I am so comfortable being in the presence of trauma because my work inherently is about connecting into the body. So that gets to be there. And yet, with specific situations, sometimes I feel like it's not mine to give a direct direction to, if that makes sense. But what I would say for you is to, one, you're able to see that trauma for what it is. Now, how can you get support around that? And I always refer to body-based support. So if you're going to see a therapist, then work with a therapist who can bring you back into the body. A somatic experience practitioner can be really amazing. EMDR is incredible. I started doing EMDR to process some of my childhood events, and it's doing binaural stimulation of the brain and then rewiring certain memories. So look that up, EMDR. That could be really, really amazing. But I think you're on an amazing path here by seeing the situation and identifying it as something that might be getting in the way of you expressing feminine energy. And so now you can start to explore that more. You can start to journal about it. You can reach out for support and start to notice what trauma feels like in the body. So, like, where does it show up? What sensations are present? And listen to those sensations and start to, maybe you identify them as fear, as worry, as shutdown. Okay, what sensations are part of that? Write that down. Listen until it shifts and alchemizes. So keep bringing that attention and that awareness back to the body. I hope that helps. Thank you for asking. Okay, the last thing I have, and then I have a few like really simple, kind of like silly little things you can do too. These are all really like deep soul work. They're going to take a good amount of time. They might not take time. I don't want to put that limiting belief on you, but it's like it's definitely more of a big picture shift practice. The last one, lighten up. Just lighten up. Stop taking yourself so seriously. I find that women who are in their masculine take themselves and their life so seriously. Like if someone says something that offends them, it like ruins their day, or if the trash isn't taken out, they lose it. Like let life be a delight. And this lightens your energy. Feminine energy is very playful. It's full of wonder and amazement. And if you've been really serious your whole life and burdened and worn down, and you're bringing that energy to your marriage, to your partnership, that is burdening and like masculine energy already. If your masculine energy partner is already heavy and full of, burden and trying and activating and all this stuff, and then they come home and you're also burdened and heavy. It's masculine meets masculine. And I know this is so hard if both of you have a career that demands masculine energy. But if you're more feminine at your core, it's going to feel really good to slide into your feminine energy before you come home. And if you're single, it feels good to slide in your energy into your feminine energy before you come home, before you cook yourself a meal, before you meet a friend, before you listen to music, like, because it feels more you. It feels more satisfying. It feels more native to your being. So if you can just lighten up and just not take yourself, not take situations, not take others so seriously, and you can let yourself play and laugh and have a sense of humor, this is going to do wonders for your feminine energy. If someone says something that bugs you, just like brush it off. They're having a bad day. If someone cuts you off, fine. Just let it be. It's not worth your precious energy. It really isn't. So, in the big things I thought of are: one, get out of the head and into the body. Two, slow way, way, way down. Three, don't overshare. Talk less, unless you're invited in, unless you're asked questions. Four, soften your nervous system, soften your body. Remember, I have a course that helps you do just that. Five, allow help and support from masculine energy, from gifting, from service. Let yourself receive. Receiving is love. Follow direction. Let yourself follow. Have fun with it. Let it be a relief. Let it be an honor. And then lighten up. It's not that serious. Lighten your energy, lighten your presence, lighten your thoughts. The light in life. Be amazed and be in wonder. Amber, you look beautiful. Thank you so much. Love your makeup and that color on you too. I never really wear blue, and I wore this, it's a set. This was a skirt, and I wore it out. I actually posted a photo of it on my community board. I got so many compliments on it, and who would have thought blue? So thank you. Yes, I love that. Lighten up. It feels so uplifting and fun to be around someone like that, right? Don't you? I mean, it's more fun to be in your own body like that. You just really let it go, breathe it out. I just wrote lighten up on a pink post-it note and slapped it on my bathroom mirror. I'm gonna do that too. That's great. Lighten up. That's great. On a pink post-it note. Yeah. How can I be more feminine if I'm a divorced mom of four boys? Some advice, please. Okay, four boys. My love, I have one, and I am learning every day as I go. So the good news is you have four little masculine energy beings running around the house. So you can really hold the feminine in that space in a different way. Like in some ways, I don't know what your situation is, but you might have to provide and protect and hold structure, right? But you can still be in your body. You can still do your best to move slow. You can still hold a degree of polarity there. and ask for help from your sons. I don't know how old they are, but let them rise up and support you and contribute to the house, contribute to the chores. Really evoke the masculine in them to give and to, I mean, even like providing some sort of structure and direction. So that's what I feel right away when I hear you have four boys. I'm assuming that they have a masculine essence, that you can cultivate a degree of polarity there and that you actually might have more help and support than you think. But as a mom, I mean, oh my gosh, I'm still integrating this, right? I have an 8-month-old and it has changed my life to have a baby now and to have a child. And I still feel like I'm can access my feminine, but it's in a different way. I did a video with Mina Irfan about how to cultivate juicy energy as a mother. Actually, I'm going to link that. Let me find it. I'm going to do more videos for moms as I'm integrating this more and more because I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Oh, sorry for the sound. Okay, so I'm going to link this video. It says juicy energy as a wife and a mother. I would definitely watch this. She talks a lot about the belief systems and what we're telling ourselves as far as how we get to express as feminine as a mother. And, how that's coded with, oh, I have to be self-sacrificial and all of these things. But I think there's a way, and I know there's a way because I'm feeling into it myself right now. Can you do a video on lightening up? I just did a video on feminine lightness. I'll put that in the chat too. Yeah, light feminine energy. Hopefully this helps. Okay, putting that in the chat, light feminine energy. I'm so happy new generations will find content like this. I'm so glad. I turn to God for my healthy masculine. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I do too. Like, I have too. Since I was little, I used to pray to God and to Father, and it was the masculine presence of God that I would pray to. And sometimes now I pray to Goddess, to feminine energy. But I definitely ask God for provision, for protection. God is my masculine container for sure. I love that you brought that up, Regina. Roomba, my 6-year-old grandson, makes me tea and runs to open all doors for me. Yes, Kavivi, you get to kick back. Boys are so helpful. I love to hear that. That's great. One time he even asked me if he could blow dry my hair for me. That is so sweet. That's what I'm saying. So I think if you have four boys, depending on their age, I don't know. Again, I just have an 8-month-old baby, but I'm feeling like they could really help you to express your feminine. And from what I hear, little boys and their mamas, like there's a really special connection there. Everyone keeps telling me that at least. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're coming up to the hour. Okay, let me just say a few other small things that you can do that are just going to help. These things aren't the heart of the matter, but they'll be little reminders for you. So I like to put flowers everywhere. That's one thing. You can see flowers behind and candles. I think that flowers and candles create a sense of romance and that there's energetic codes in flowers that will just help you to feel and be more beautiful and to be more feminine, if that makes sense. It'll remind you to like literally smell the flower as you walk by. The beauty will inspire your subconscious. So I love having flowers around. Candles are light. So when we're talking about feminine energy, to put candles around, it's romantic, it's light. It creates a beautiful mood. Lighting in general. So think of your lighting. I could do a whole video about lighting because having overhead lights when it's dark in the room, it's like really bad for your nervous system. Fluorescent lights, like I just feel like when I walk into like, Target when it's dark out, I like, squint my eyes and I can't really, I don't know, it just agitates me. And there are biological reasons for this too that I've learned. Um, but think about the lighting in your home. Let there be, I have like salt lamps everywhere. I have these beautiful fairy lights around my window. I just love lighting. I love candles, and it creates this romantic feminine mood for my family and for me. Baths, obviously, duh, need I say that? But don't do your work in the bath. Don't bring your computer into the bath. Don't text in the bath. If you need to play music, I guess have your playlist there. But just be in a bath, let your body attune to the water, and let yourself receive. Like, let the bath be beautiful. Put candles there. This is going to flip you into your feminine. Wear dresses and skirts. They create a flow. Like, if feminine energy is flow, there's something about like having this openness towards the earth and then this flow as you move, this flow as you walk. You'll probably feel more feminine. And if the flowier the fabric is, the more feminine you'll feel. You know, a tight pencil skirt is a little masculine. You know what I mean? Like, think flowy fabric, silky fabric. It'll create a different feeling on your body and a different way that people respond to you. And, you know, if it's cold where you're at, it's freezing in Minnesota. I've been getting really into tights and skirts. So I still feel like I'll take some of my sundresses even and I'll layer them. So I'll put tights on, I'll layer the sundress, I'll put a sweater over the sundress. And it's just like this really cozy, girly way to be. And I feel different being around my house in that than I do in sweatpants. So just try it. And then grooming. I mean, several of you said that you already are well groomed, but then you feel difficult being feminine. So it, you know, grooming in and of itself isn't feminine, but if you can enjoy the process of being groomed, that's feminine. Let it be a ritual. When you put your makeup on, put on some nice, fun, girly music, light a candle, enjoy the ritual, let it bring you into the moment. Feel like you're dressing up this beautiful vessel that you have. Same with your when you're doing your hair or when you go get your nails done, like enjoy someone else grooming your hands and enjoy the silkiness of your hands. What else for like lashes? If you get your lashes done, like lay back and listen to your favorite playlist, listen to a delicious podcast. The point is enjoy the process of getting it done. Don't do it to look a certain way. Do it to enjoy the ritual of getting into a certain energy. And then of course you're going to enjoy how you feel after. So soften into enjoying how you feel and then work on these different energetic embodiments. Right. I have to provide from them from home. I quit my 8 to 6 to stay at home. Thank you so much. Your channel is like a breeze. Oh, I love that. My channel is like a breeze. That's a beautiful compliment. Yeah. Even being a mother, I feel like you don't even need to try to be feminine. You already are. Being a mother is the most feminine energy there is. Yes, it's a different kind of feminine energy, Amber. I'm feeling that. I mean, I feel that I have to hold a different masculine container because I have to make sure, you know, my baby eats or when he wakes up in the middle of the night, I use energy to go to him and to tend to him. Or I think about, you know, what we go to like an early childhood development class together. So there's a lot more like structure that I'm providing for him, but I still feel very feminine. Like when I'm holding him in my arms and feeding him, I'm like, wow, I'm so present here. And looking into his eyes, it immediately feels feminine. So it's a little bit of both, I noticed. Okay. Emprende says they are 22, independent, and at home, 15, 12, and 8. They help a lot with chores, but maybe it's myself feeling the pressure to lead them. Okay, so they're they're older. And I think that you could evoke some masculine contributions from them. Like let them provide. I mean, not just money, right? But let them provide for you and to help for you, like carry to go grocery shopping for you, like give them lots of chores. Like I think let yourself be loved up by them. Just flip your perspective of it and see what happens. Be in the moment. That's very feminine too. Not worrying and choosing trust and receive what you've been created by looking at our children, the most beautiful gift. It is the most, I love that. Receive what you've created by looking at our children. Oh, that gives me goosebumps. I do. I just stare at my baby. I cannot get enough. I just receive he's like a little angel baby. I mean, all babies are, but I'm just like, wow, look at you. I love that. That's a moment of receptivity. That's a really good point, Amber. And just to be in the moment. Yeah, that's very, very good. Okay, well, I hope this was helpful for all of you. I mean, if you have other ideas for things that make you feel feminine too, feel free to share them with me. They could be embodiments, like we started with some embodiments, and then I also gave some like little tips of things you could do around your environment and ways that you could be. But I hope that, yeah, I hope that this was helpful, especially if you're clicking on this video and it's one of the first feminine energy videos that you've clicked on. I hope it finds you well in your feminine energy journey. Remember that I have a new membership program that you can join my channel. It's called Relaxed and Radiant. There's two tiers. The first one is $5, and it's literally, I mean, you get a member badge, you get to be called out as a member, just like thanked. It's mostly about, if you're someone who watches my content regularly, a way that you can just invest and support in my work. And then the second one, for the $25, you get an feminine embodiment practice monthly, and it will be live. You can catch the replay. The live and the replay will be for members only. So I will start that in February, which I'm really excited for. And I also have my course, Nervous System of a Goddess, my program, and level 1 is called Soften. So if you want to start your journey, it offers nervous system education. It offers yoga, meditation. It offers a really tangible way for you to start embodying some of these concepts. So all that's in the description. Love you all. Thank you. This has been so much fun. I can't believe it's over an hour already. Thank you. This was gold. I'm so glad. I was really inspired to come on. So anyways, okay, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much.